A lot of the video we produce is for experienced riders, and this was prompted by an email. I want a bike. What do I do? There's so many choices. There are no bad bikes today. None. Look at the quality of products, the level of engineering, the finish that we get on all these motorcycles. It's absolutely amazing. Look how many choices you've got between even just categories, let alone bikes within each category, which makes it very difficult to choose one for you. Jeff here at Mach 1 has given us the whole showroom to go through. Let's go sit on some bikes and see if it fits or doesn't fit, and what that really means with some very, very close detail to specific items on the motorcycle. Okay, let's take a look at the CBR500. Awesome little bike, perfect for commuting, doing things. Double the CCs, so a lot more power for getting around in traffic and stuff like that. So let's see how it fits me. All right, so first impression, I'm up against the tank. That's something personally I like. Do you? My feet are totally flat, so I'm perfectly good with that. Now, I have a 30-inch inseam. I don't know what you have, so if you're 28 inches, you might be heels up a little bit. If you're 26 inches, you might be past the ball of your foot. Now, if I do that and I wobble the bike, it's not very much to control in weight going side to side, so the bike feels real light between my legs. So if you're trying to balance it because your inseam is, say, 26 inches, not going to be an issue for you at all. So let's go back to where I was. All right, so reaching the bars. Nice, comfortable, easy reach for me. I'm not over here trying to strain forward, and I'm not up here because my arms are down there. And my head is perfectly naturally following my back and looking straight ahead without me having to do this at all. And I work with my hands a lot, obviously. So my hands come from out to in. So I do this all the time, and that fits on the handlebar for me very well. But I have pretty long arms. They come right down the middle of my thigh. So check yours. Do they come to the ball and socket joint? Well, you might be leaning forward just a little more. So is that comfortable for you? Okay, let's take a look at the brake lever. So resting my hand here is right on the first joint. So that's perfect. Clutch lever's a little far away. Okay. Let's check the free play. No, that's probably fine. It's not adjustable. I have pretty average hands, so if your fingers are a little shorter compared to the length of your palm, you might want an adjustable clutch lever to bring it back in so you're much more comfortable, because we use the clutch 10 times more than we use the brakes. So something thinking might be a good investment for you there. All right, so feet on the pegs. That piece in the fairing that's scalloped out, perfect. Fits right in it, absolutely dead snug. And again, 30-inch inseam, so that feels really good. I like that. Foot peg, that feels good on my foot. Then the rear brake, just a little too high. I want it there, and I've got to pick my foot up to get to it. It's not quite comfortable, but it is adjustable, so that's great. And then switching it over to the shifter side, not changing that. That feels great because I'm sat up. If I was in sport bike mode, that'd be different, but this position, no, that works out great. All in all, what would I change for me to make sure I could do everything I wanted? I will buy an adjustable clutch lever. That way I can get myself really comfortable. And both of these, the brake and the clutch perch, can be moved down, and I'd probably slide both of these down a little bit to try and get my wrist angle flat rather than kick up to my hand here. I'd want more of that. So if I do that on both hands, I need these down a little bit, right? You can see the difference between the grip. That will get me perfectly comfortable for a small light bike, even if I'm balanced on my toes. This is wonderful. Perfectly easy, so that's how it fits me. How's it fit you? Okay, let's pick up the back of the bike. See if we have any static sag. Yep, awesome. That's great. Huge step in the right direction. Okay, now let's go to the front end. Now, because we can't see the forks, we have to do the same thing as we did with the R3, which is go from the base of the lower triple clamp to the joint of the dust seal to the leg. Now, in the book, it says 122 millimeters of total available travel. So let's see what we've got fully extended. $135. Yep, that's fully extended. So 122 to 135, 13 millimeters down from the upper triple clamp is bottom out. Okay, so with Dave on the bike. So that's 95. So 35 millimeters sag in the front, given Dave's 180-pound weight. And then for the rear, let's go right there, which is 580 millimeters. Okay, go ahead, dismount, Dave. So 580, bike under its own weight. $605, whoa. 580 to 605. Yep, 605, so 25, and then let's top it out. 605 to 620, so 15 static. So we're about even in sag, roughly, numerically, front to back. So the bike's sitting almost level. It's just a little softer in the back. So that's where we got with Dave at 180 pounds. So with every price point comes a bargain. And usually bargains mean little to no suspension adjustability. However, with the 500, we have preload adjusters in both caps, which is great. So we can adjust our spring tension in there easily. And the other part that's really nice for the 500 is that right down there where the screwdriver is, Dave can get in there, that is a preload adjuster that's at the base of the shock that will allow you to also change spring tension. So even though this is a real good budget bike, we still get to adjust preload and in the shock and in the forks. So that's going to be awesome. Usually in budget bikes you get nothing. I mean zero. So great feature about the 500, we have some adjustability. All right, let's see how the bike feels on the showroom floor. Down, up, money, right out of the gate. Feels nice and firm on compression. Not sure exactly how much preload we've got in as well, but some nice give at the top of the spring. So that should make it ride really comfortably, plus the fact that the rebound is set perfectly. And then on the back of the bike, rebound comes up. It's a little slow, but remember we've got quite a bit of static sag in the back. So notching that up a couple of notches to get that sag minimized a little bit, maybe below 10, would actually speed the rebound up. So let's check the whole bike out. That looks pretty damn good to me for an off the showroom floor bike to go roll down the road and have things work evenly together. That's pretty damn good. So what would I do? Dave's 180. Personally, put a cable tie on the forks, mark the bottom out. We just gave you the number to mark down from the triple clamp at. See how close he got to it? I'd ratchet up the rear preload too, and then I'd try a third to see, given the way he rides, how much he's compressing the rear shock. Because you don't want the bike to keep doing this, you want it to do this. Brake and accelerate evenly. So given that we have such great rebound balance in the chassis front and back, given his weight, I would definitely ramp it up some more. If you're at the 220 plus, you're gonna be too heavy for this bike. You're gonna have to respring the front and you're gonna have to respring the rear. Whether the springs are available for the rear shock, we'd have to do some research and find out and see if they are. Easy question to ask, plenty of sources for springs. If you're 120 to 150, the rear shock would need to go lower, which means your static sag would increase a lot, which means the back of the bike when you sit on it would maybe dip too far down, and because of that you might have to change the fork position because the front feels a lot stiffer to me. Even with all the preload out, you're probably going to have to drop the front 5 to 7 millimeters to level the bike back up because the back's sitting so low with all the rider and static sag combined. So for those weight categories, that's what I do.
To schedule a remote tuning appointment for you and your bike with Dave via text, email, Facebook, etc., contact Dave on Facebook or by email, dave@davemosstuning.com.